Fala pessoal, tudo bem? Quem fala com vocês é o Andrew. Bom, pessoal, eu resolvi trazer para você aqui um vídeo, aqui para vocês um vídeo sobre o projeto Stargate, tá? O que que é o projeto Stargate? É um projeto onde vão ser construídos vários datacenters, tá? O próprio governo dos Estados Unidos ele está apoiando essa iniciativa, que tem como líderes ali empresas como a OpenAI. Então, aqui tem várias empresas que estão nessa luta aí por uma IA ser cada vez mais forte, cada vez mais proeminente. Então, esse marco, essa construção, esse projeto, ele vai muito de contra isso, né? Então, ele, ele foi criado para ser um dos maiores data centers do mundo e que o intuito é suprir toda a necessidade que a IA tem atualmente e que vai ter no futuro. Então, vou mostrar para vocês um pouco desse projeto.
Catch and fight for everything good that comes our way.
I had people reaching out and they said, well, is the president going to come see you? And I said, well, he hasn't texted me yet. So
I'm thrilled we get to do this in the United States of America. I think this will be the most important project of this era.
Nessa cena que apareceu aqui está Trump, né? Está o Trump e o presidente e o CEO da OpenAI, ou seja, os Estados Unidos ele está investindo nisso porque ele quer ser ali ele quer ter a IA mais forte. Então, para isso, tem que ter um poder computacional e tem que ter infraestrutura para suprir essa grande necessidade que vai ser a IA. Então, eles estão avançando muito em relação a isso, tanto em relação à tecnologia de pontas, como o ChatGPT 4, 5 aí, mas também em relação à infraestrutura. Então, a IA não é apenas o que vocês veem, tem muito ali por trás, né?
Important project of this era.
Welcome to Abilene, Texas. This is the site of Project Stargate, a very mysterious, much talked about, much speculated about project that brings together OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle. If it all comes together, building after building on this red dirt behind me will be filled with chips that'll power the AI revolution.
What we're undergoing right now is sort of the largest infrastructure build in human history. It's going to create new ways of doing business, it's going to create new ways of invention, and it's going to really drive humanity forward.
I was in the real estate business. These buildings, these are big, beautiful buildings. They're going to employ a lot of people.
How do you personally grapple with the pace of it all?
It does feel like it's going very fast. I certainly think if I could transport myself back 3 years ago, it would seem like unimaginable progress.
This is amazing, explosive growth of intelligence that's coming in our decade. Everything will change.
When Stargate was first announced, there was a lot of skepticism. A lot of people thought it's just too big to be true. So this is your very first look. Hello.
Hey, Emily.
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Abilene.
It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
Para vocês terem uma ideia, aí, hoje tem empresas especializadas em construir data centers. São projetos incríveis, né, que tem assim, bastante pessoa trabalhando. Então, além de gerar emprego, né, vai gerar aí uma grande capacidade para IA no presente e no futuro.
I know.
How many people are on this site?
Today we have about 2,200 people on site.
The guy at the heart of the Stargate build in Abilene is Chase Lockmiller. He's the founder of Crusoe, the little-known data center startup overseeing this massive project.
We started construction here last June of 2024. This was just a complete barren field.
So
right?
there was nothing here in June?
There were a bunch of mesquite trees and bushes and brush.
Stargate is so mysterious. What actually is happening here?
What will eventually be here is 8 separate buildings, all containing very large clusters of fully interconnected GPUs.
Yep.
We're going to do a tour of some of that. This is going to get us around the
Para vocês entenderem o que é um data center, ele vai mostrar um pouquinho, mas imagine que um grande galpão onde tem vários ali é, blocos de GPU conectados, né? O que é o GPU? É o que move a IA, né? Então é ali a mente da IA, é um chip, né? E aí você imagina assim, vários GPUs, ou seja, vários chips assim, super potentes juntos, né? Então aqui formando um bloco. Então para processar ali, por exemplo, igual o chat GPT, né? Para você conversar com ele ali, ele faz vários processamentos ali enquanto você está conversando com ele. Mas ele faz isso de uma forma tão rápida graças aos GPUs ou os TPUs, né? Igual, por exemplo, igual a Google, né? Eles têm os TPUs. Agora, é, igual assim, assim, quem fabrica esses GPUs é a NVIDIA. Tanto que ela é a segunda empresa mais rica do mundo, né? Já está ali em torno de assim, 4 trilhões. Dos 2 anos para cá, quando surgiu o IA, a NVIDIA era uma empresa que ele custava perto de seus bilhões, mas hoje assim, custa 4 trilhões graças à necessidade de chips para a sobrevivência do ecossistema de inteligência artificial.
whole 1,200-acre campus.
Hey, we're going on an adventure.
It's like getting around Jurassic Park.
I love that.
All right, let's go off-roading.
I feel like we're going on a data center safari.
It is much like a data center safari.
Crusoe's 8 planned buildings will hold up to 400,000 chips, which would make this one of the world's largest known compute clusters. The partners behind Star
O que ele falou? Que ele vai ser clusters. O que é um clusters? É um bloco vamos supor que 10 mil GPUs juntos, né? Então, cada bloco desse é um clusters, ou seja, é um agrupamento de GPUs, tá? Vocês podem ver que as empresas que estão participando aí desse projeto Stargate, que todas são grandes, na verdade, mas a que nós conhecemos aí de fato é a OpenAI e também a Oracle, tá? Que o SoftBank é bem conhecido ali nos Estados Unidos também, tá? Então é bem interessante esse
Stargate,
projeto.
OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank have committed $100 billion to the project so far and claim they're
100
prepared to
bilhões
put in
de
5
reais.
times that as they expand to multiple
Pode
sites.
chegar aí a 15
This first site in
bilhões de
Abilene
reais.
has been dubbed Project Ludicrous, as in,
Ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed.
which is appropriate. The whole thing is supposed to be done by mid-2026.
Are you round
Yeah.
the clock, 24 hours
We're,
a day?
we're round the clock. It is very much a 24/7 operation. We're trying to deliver on the fastest schedule that a 100 megawatt or greater data center's ever been built.
So, why the ludicrous rush? Well, because Stargate is part of a much larger AI race. Companies like Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon, and xAI are all building AI data centers of their own at sites across the US and beyond. Each company wants to have the most capable AI being used by the most people, and they've committed tens of billions of dollars to make it happen.
There's no reason we won't scale up our computing 100,000 times in a few years.
I'm good for my 80 billion. I'm going to spend $80 billion building out Azure.
The downside of being behind is that you're out of position for like the most important technology for the next 10 to 15 years.
But beyond just making better
Só para vocês terem uma ideia, né? Apareceu que o Mark Zuckerberg, assim, diariamente aparece notícias de que ele está recrutando pessoas de empresas que têm AI igual o OpenAI, por exemplo, pagando 100 milhões de reais. Então, vocês podem ver que a IA não é aquele hype. Assim como veio a internet nos anos 2000, a IA também veio para ficar. Então, eu quero mostrar para vocês o que está sendo construído e qual que é a importância disso para toda a humanidade e de você aprender inteligência artificial, tá? É uma coisa que só está começando, não só aqui no Brasil, mas em todos os lugares aí, até porque o pessoal está na luta para ter, para ver quem tem uma IA mais forte, né? Mas se vocês podem ver que estão sendo gastos bilhões de reais em projetos de infraestrutura, de modelos de inteligência artificial, igual assim, o próprio Mark Zuckerberg ele está construindo ali o laboratório para construir a super IA, tá?
AI, many tech leaders want to be the first to create AGI, artificial general intelligence, a super smart agent that can think and learn just like a human, if not better. Large language models like ChatGPT have gotten more capable as the technologies evolved, so the hope is that adding an astronomical amount of compute will make them even more capable.
Take me back to the beginning before Stargate. What did you start seeing that made you realize we need more compute, more power, more connectivity, that you were hitting a limit and needed to scale?
We used to think a lot about the compute we would need to train the models. And what we didn't used to think about as much as how much people were going to use these models. I mean, we did think about it. It just turned out people want to use the models much more than we imagined. And a couple of years ago, maybe after the launch of GPT-4 in ChatGPT, it really started to hit like, oh man, this is like gone from a lot of compute to like the biggest infrastructure project in history. And out of that emerged Stargate.
Why call it Stargate?
It began as a code name, and sometimes code names stick.
But it means something, right?
The design of one of the very early layouts of a data center looked a little bit like Stargate from the show.
How did you get to talking with Masio?
O que ele quis explicar aqui em relação que a Stargate, o nome Stargate, ele vem de um filme, tá? Se vocês tiverem interesse em ver, chama Stargate mesmo. Assim, o filme, vou contar aqui brevemente, ele se passa ali através de um portal que eles encontram, que as pessoas entram nesse portal e vai para outro universo, tá? Então, ele pegou esse codinome aí graças a esse filme aí também, tá?
Son and Larry Ellison, and how did you all come together?
I did 2 kind of long trips around the world, and a lot of it was to talk to developers and governments, but a lot of it was also to just really try to like get my head around the supply chain. On one of those trips, I met with Masa, and we got to speaking about what it would take to do compute at this kind of scale.
Hi, Masa. It's so nice to see you. And what did you have with Sam that led to Stargate?
Well, we have a shared vision of AGI coming soon, and we need compute.
Of all the bets you could make, why this? Why Stargate?
Well, I believe in the vision that this AI, the AGI, will change the mankind's life in every aspect. And we are lucky to see this enormous revolution, and I'd like to be part of that. I get excited. Last month, I came to celebrate your winning and promised that we will invest $100 billion. And you told me, oh, Masa, go for 200. Yeah. Now I came back with 500.
Explain the math to us. How does it all add up to needing $500 billion?
Well, that covers the capacity we think we need for the next few years, given our growth projections. The interesting question is if we knew how to get $1 trillion right now, which we don't, would we be able to deploy that profitably in the next?
Bom, pessoal, uma coisa que eu quero deixar bem claro para vocês, por que que eles acham, né, que necessitam de tanto esse poder computacional. Quando você está conversando com uma IA, ela conversa com você, mas ela faz cálculos de forma paralela. Isso é elas tentando prever a próxima palavra, né? Então, para vocês entenderem que o chat GPT, por exemplo, quando você faz uma pergunta em palavras, ele transforma isso em vetores, que viram em belts, depois passa pelas redes neurais e faz ali cálculos matriciais, tá? Mas não é só isso. Isso é só para gerar, assim, palavras. Então, imagine você, eles querem uma AGI. O que que é uma inteligência artificial AGI, que já é o segundo nível? Existem 3 níveis: NAGI, IAS, IAASI. A N é o que nós temos hoje, né? Que ela vai ali assim, por tarefas, ela não consegue fazer várias tarefas ao mesmo tempo, ou assim, trocar de tarefas sem facilidade, igual nós seres humanos conseguimos fazer, cozinhar, andar, ver televisão, né, assim, e tudo ao mesmo tempo. Então, para ter uma AGI, vai ter que se acontecer vários processos de forma paralela. Então, e para isso acontecer, vai ter que ter muito poder computacional. Então, por isso que o investimento em infraestrutura e chips GPUs é de suma importância. É só para vocês entenderem o porquê, tá? Aí você pergunta, mas eles estão investindo tanto por quê? Porque para atingir uma AGI que é ter vários domínios ao mesmo tempo, fazer várias coisas ao mesmo tempo, andar, falar, pensar, raciocinar, você tem que ter um poder computacional muito grande, tá? Só para vocês entenderem o porquê desse grande investimento. Então, para atingir a AGI, vai ter que ter esse tipo de investimento em infraestrutura mesmo.
Few years. And I'm not sure about that, but I feel confident we can make 500 billion of value back.
All right, so what are we seeing?
There's many forklifts, there's many cranes, there's many dump trucks, there's many excavators.
New creatures emerge at every turn. Are most of the workers from Abilene?
We're a very large employer here in Abilene, but we have brought in a lot of labor from outside the city and outside the state. We actually have workers from 7 different states. I've never built anything of this scale. It's one of the underappreciated aspects of AI is actually just the physical infrastructure that's needed.
This is awesome. I love
Building
it.
stuff.
Yes.
There's 155 vehicles that are moving dirt, moving earth right now.
There's something so satisfying about seeing lots of dirt being moved.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at that crane, like this red crane, that's a 600-ton crane.
I have how does that compare to other cranes?
It can lift a lot. It can lift a lot of weight. I mean, 600 tons. That's like 100 elephants, right?
This is actually happening around the world. Data centers are being built in Malaysia and Japan and France.
I think the demand for compute infrastructure, it's not a US phenomenon, it is a global phenomenon. A lot of countries have actually decided that data centers are critical infrastructure that must be accelerated.
So if hyperscalers are going to Malaysia or Japan, is that competition for you?
We don't really see it as competition. We kind of see it as just an overall growth of the sector. We think we have a lot of unique ways of doing it and a lot of value to add in the process, but pretty just excited by everything happening in the space.
Lockmiller's path to leading the Stargate build has been circuitous. He's climbed 5 of the so-called 7 summits, the tallest mountain on each continent, and worked in physics and finance.
Tell me about your journey before Crusoe. You grew up in Denver. You started out using AI as a trader on Wall Street.
Yeah, we were big early adopters of deep learning, using these multi-layer neural networks to predict returns for certain securities. We found them to be fairly effective. I had high conviction that AI was going to transform everything. It sort of always felt like this meta science.
Lockmiller eventually left finance to get into crypto. Not in the get-rich-quick hyping meme coins way, but in the hundreds of computers solving math problems way. His idea was to build Bitcoin mining operations near oil rigs, taking advantage of a quirk in the oil drilling process.
When an oil company drills for oil, one of the associated byproducts of that is natural gas. And when they don't have access to a pipeline, all of this associated gas is just being burned off on site. And so we had this concept that instead of trying to bring that gas to a market where you can sell it, we could bring a market to the gas. We could build these mobile and modular data centers and bring them directly to the wellhead and then use that power to power the data center.
It was a good idea, with unfortunate timing.
The crypto market crashed. You then went from Bitcoin mining to AI. It almost sounds like going from one hype cycle to another.
Yeah, it may seem like that from the outside, but I'll say that from very early on, we had planned to build an AI infrastructure business.
So what do Bitcoin mining and AI data centers have in common?
Number one, they both consume a tremendous amount of energy. Number two, They're both more location agnostic than traditional data centers. Northern Virginia is largely.
Essa é uma coisa que é assim bem importante deixar claro que os data centers eles consomem um valor absurdo de energia elétrica, de energia em si, né? Então, provavelmente, tenho certeza que isso vai ser também uma das corridas aí, né, para ter assim, para ter mais energia assim, elétrica ou se possivelmente energia nuclear, mas os data centers consomem muita energia elétrica. Então, pode ter certeza que uma das preocupações também para o futuro vai ser esta, tá? Vai ter que encontrar algum modo ali de ter energia que seja energia solar, né? Mas, assim como toda grande invenção, tem algo por trás. E é esse consumo de, de, de energia elétrica, né?
Perceived to be sort of the center of the world for data centers today.
That's data center 1.0, right?
That's data center 1.0.
Virginia's Data Center Alley is where the first generation of cloud computing was built, close to the government agencies that created the original internet. Those data centers are full of CPUs, basic computer chips that power everyday things like social media, streaming, and the cloud. Stargate, on the other hand, is part of a new era of data centers full of GPUs, the special advanced chips needed to power AI and do lots of tasks at once.
So this is the inside of
Né? Que os CPUs eles são mais voltados para tarefas específicas e os GPUs são voltados para são tarefas feitas paralelamente, que é o que eu disse, né? Se anteriormente em relação ao IA, já no nível AGI.
data center.
This is the inside of a data center under construction.
Okay.
They're going to be.
Very active construction.
It is a very active construction site.
So you can take them through one of these.
Okay,
And then
yeah,
here's
yeah.
the hallway.
Okay.
People look like they were working very hard and fast.
People never love when I show up for data center business. No,
Why?
it's not my area of expertise, and yet I have opinions. And so people are like, okay, leave us alone.
So we are going to go to one of the GPU data halls where there will be a very large cluster of Blackwell GPUs.
Blackwell is the newest AI-optimized chip from NVIDIA. Once the 8 buildings of Project Ludicrous are complete, each of them will hold up to 50,000 chips to be installed by Stargate partner Oracle.
Wow.
This is where the GPUs will go.
This is where the GPUs are going. I've been waiting for this.
This is where the AI factory will be.
All right. This is what an AI factory looks like.
And it truly is like a factory, but the difference is the end product that gets manufactured here is intelligence.
And the sooner this AI factory starts up, the better for OpenAI. In March, the company rolled out a new and improved image generator for ChatGPT, which quickly became almost too popular to handle.
I've seen viral moments, but I have never seen anyone have to deal with an influx of usage like this.
You added 1 million users in an hour or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, more, some hours, but yeah. It was like unprecedented, wild. And also like making an image is it's not exactly like a low compute task the way we do it with the new image gen.
You tweeted that the GPUs were melting.
Yeah, I didn't realize people were going to take that literally.
I mean, I get that it was a joke, but it's
They're
a
running
metaphor.
very hot, but like the metal is not actually melting. So we had to do a lot of very unnatural things. We had to, borrow compute capacity from research. We had to slow down some other features. Because it's not like we have like hundreds of thousands of GPUs sitting around just like spinning idly. If we had more GPUs, we would be more able to handle demand surges like this.
So it's that directly linked.
Yeah. More compute means we can give you more AI.
So one of the things to just take note of is just the amount of stuff happening overhead. You can kind of see these very large pipes that distribute cold water to the individual chips to cool them down.
The water is needed because GPUs run very hot, and keeping them cool typically involves an evaporation process that can consume millions of gallons of water per day. That's raised concerns about the sustainability.
Interessante também, eu falei em relação à eletricidade, mas vai gastar muita água também, porque eles está até falando aqui que para resfriar esses GPUs, a resfriação é feita por evaporação. Então isso consome muita energia, isso consome muita água, né? Que é para resfriar esses GPUs, para resfriar esses sistemas. Passa por ali, né? A água pelo sistema, né? Lógico ali que assim através de tubos, né? E aí resfria esses GPUs, mantém eles frios para não ter uma sobrecarga, e aí essa água evapora. Então, além de gastar, além de gastar eletricidade, vai gastar bastante água também, tá?
Of this AI boom. With Stargate, though, Crusoe says it's bypassed this problem, using what's called a closed-loop system, which keeps the water permanently.
Ele vai explicar também que ele já resolveu esse problema, mas até então, de início, gasta bastante água, mas eles estão estudando outras possibilidades, assim como estão estudando outras possibilidades para energia elétrica.
Encased within pipes.
You can put a million gallons in, and then you don't need more forever.
Yeah, that's essentially right. We basically fill it one time and then we're done, and that's something we can easily coordinate with the city in terms of getting 1 million gallons of water one time. It's a far different ask than asking for 1 million gallons an hour or some other crazy request, which could be the case if you had an open loop cooling architecture.
So once this is all built, what's the grand vision?
Give people tools to let them do whatever they're going to do better. People will use it and unleash their creative energy and make all sorts of stuff that you and I love, or some stuff that we don't, or stuff to just entertain themselves. Personally, the area I'm most excited about is AI for scientific discovery. We're not there yet, but we're not far away. I think 2025 will be a world where we have agents do a lot of work, but work of the kind of work and things we already know how to do. I'm hopeful that 2026 will be a big year of really new scientific progress.
But in order for that to happen, buildings full of chips aren't enough. You also need energy. Lots and lots of energy. That could be a problem for the climate and a limiting factor in the growth of AI.
Sam Altman's been hunting for more compute for a while now, and it seems like energy is a big constraint. Can you explain that? What are the limits?
Let me sort of put this in perspective for you. If you look at a data center 20 years ago, an individual rack in the data center would typically be budgeted to consume between 2 and 4 kilowatts. Today, with the latest and greatest configuration from NVIDIA, we budget 130 kilowatts per rack. So you're talking about almost 2 orders of magnitude increase.
To put it another way, asking ChatGPT a question uses about 10 times as much energy as a Google search.
It is a complete transformation in terms of the amount of infrastructure required to support this workload. And so that has become the major bottleneck.
So AI data centers can't be located just anywhere. You need a location with lots of available power. And West Texas happens to fit the bill.
We came to Abilene, honestly, because it's a community that's very rich in low cost and clean energy. A lot of wind development has happened in and around the Abilene region.
Ver aqui que eles estão tocando no assunto de energia limpa, né? Para suprir essa necessidade de energia que tem os data center.
And what they lack is actually demand for power. That created a massive opportunity for AI, which is so hungry for power in this moment. This is the first 200 megawatt substation. Right over here, there's going to be developed an incremental 1 gigawatt substation. So the total power capacity for the site will be a total of 1.2 gigawatts.
All right, so we're talking bigger than a gigawatt.
Bigger than a gigawatt, yeah. Everybody seems to want a gigawatt or more these days.
If that sounds like a lot, well, it is. Enough to power about 750,000 homes, 2,600 Tesla Model 3s, or 100 million LED light bulbs.
There's a funny Back to the Future quote where he says 1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts!
And because it's 1.2 gigawatts, it's kind of funny.
As more and more AI data centers come online in the next few years, they'll add many gigawatts of demand to an already overstressed grid. According to one estimate, data centers could consume more than 8% of America's electricity by 2035. And while the International Energy Agency predicts renewables will meet about half that demand, the rest will mostly come from coal and gas. Crusoe is even building its own gas power plant on site as a backup.
Every major tech company has this net zero pledge by 2030. Are our AI ambitions running directly counter to our climate goals?
It's complicated. My personal perspective is none of those pledges are going to be met by 2030. And there's ways of kind of fudging it where you're buying a bunch of RECs or offsets, but the actual energy that's being used, there's no way it's going to get to 100% carbon-free power production to power all of the AI infrastructure that's being developed. It's just fundamentally not possible.
So the tech companies are lying or fudging it.
That's a good question. You're good. No, look, I think a lot of these goals were ambitious, and a lot of the goals predated the demand that people were experiencing from AI infrastructure. So I think AI has actually kind of changed their path. Now, the optimist in me says that while it may get worse before it gets better, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think the fact that AI is a massive tool for invention, it's actually going to accelerate the development of a lot of new technologies. The fact that we're building a lot of new infrastructure that requires a lot of energy actually provides this massive opportunity for AI to be one of the early adopters of new energy solutions, things like small modular reactors, geothermal, nuclear fusion. The fact that AI has a massive demand for energy puts it in a position to actually intentionally decide what does the energy infrastructure look like that's going to power it.
For now, Stargate seems to have the resources it needs to accomplish its goals. But with huge investments come huge risks. Bloomberg's Brody Ford has been following Stargate and the many ways it could go wrong or right for the Stargate partners and for the city of Abilene.
Thanks for coming on the trip.
Thank you. We got the cactus right behind you, too.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's your impression of Stargate?
It's happening, right? I mean, there's a lot of naysayers on the internet that nothing about it's real, but it's clear. I mean, it is a massive project. The fact that they're talking about having, a gigawatt of capacity live in about 2 years, it's an ambitious target, and seeing that in person kind of showed how frantic the whole thing feels.
A gigawatt is huge.
Oh, it's huge. It's comically big, right? I mean, nobody was saying these kind of numbers 2 years ago.
Yeah. How does this compare to other big tech projects in other places?
We've been tracking a lot of the big data center projects. I mean, data center spending has ramped in the last couple of years. It passed $200 billion in CapEx in the last year. I think two big projects that people are really watching right now is here in Abilene for Stargate and Elon's build out in Memphis. Both have been thought to be the largest computing clusters at various moments, depending on who you ask. But I think what unites them is just the fact that they need so many chips, and it's the amount of labor coming into them.
This is, to me, a very big thing. $500 billion Stargate project. I think it's going to be something that's very special.
The number, $500 billion. Is that for real?
I don't think anybody thinks they're going to hit 500 billion. Maybe I will eat my words.
No, I came back.
SoftBank has a reputation for buying toward the top, for getting into projects once the hype cycle is already pretty advanced.
I'm very confident. We don't need $500 billion in one day. We go step by step, okay? So we are very confident to make it happen.
This is a lot of money, and not all of your bets have paid off. Where do you get your conviction?
Well, sometimes I get crazily overexcited and I make mistake like we work and, I have many scars. But when you have the conviction and the passion, you actually learn more from those mistakes and the scars, and that will make you stronger.
Where's the money going? Like, who's the real winner here?
So yeah, I think we've all seen NVIDIA's stock go up an insane number. And
Bom, vamos ver aqui mais alguns minutos. Eu vou ter as minhas considerações em relação a esse projeto, tá? Eles estão aí com base de gastar 500 bilhões, né? Provavelmente nem chegue a isso, né? é uma base que eles estão fazendo ali para gastos com esse projeto, tá? O que mais se beneficia com isso é a NVIDIA, que vende chips GPUs para serem usados nos clusters, né? Vamos continuar aqui.
Said,
O
whoa,
time já
how is
está
that
trabalhando, tá,
spending
pessoal?
ramping so heavily? It's these data centers, right? I mean, in what we saw today,
Na verdade, o vídeo tem
400,000
quase
chips, that's
43 minutos,
conservatively
mas a
15,
parte
20
importante é
billion
mais o começo,
dollars.
tá?
AI
Deixa eu ler
holds
para
incredible
vocês
promise for
caso
all of
vocês
us.
queiram
Let's
ler
talk about Oracle.
Yes.
Like, what is Oracle's role?
For a long time, you know, the leaders in offering cloud infrastructure forever was, you know, Amazon, Microsoft, to a lesser extent, Google. People weren't taking Oracle seriously for a long time, but with the AI boom, they have shown they're able to make these really vast data centers quickly. And so their role here is essentially putting in the servers, putting in the fiber optic cable, and getting that compute over to OpenAI. I mean, the underlying theme here is that OpenAI and companies like it need as much computing power as they can. They're looking for creative ways to, you know, conjure up those funds. And Oracle is a company that says, oh God, you want to pay us to build out these data centers? Absolutely, count us in.
The sizes keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
And bigger. Is there a chance we're overbuilding? Do we need all this?
God, every single day somebody.
Essa é uma pergunta importante. Precisamos de tudo isso, de toda essa infraestrutura, ou de todo esse gasto, né? Exorbitante em relação
It's a different take, right? Every single day, like we saw with DeepSeek, right? That, wait a second, do we really need all of this infrastructure?
For those not obsessively following every twist and turn in the AI race, DeepSeek is a Chinese company whose own AI model went viral in January. Their AI performed at a similar level to leading US models, but used far fewer computing resources. This raised the question, are Stargate-scale mega projects really necessary?
DeepSeek appears to have found a more efficient way to power AI. Was that a moment of rethink for you? And are you doing anything differently now?
I think the DeepSeek team is very talented and did a lot of good things. I don't think they figured out something like way more efficient than what we figured out.
But do you think there is a more efficient way to power
Oh, I'm sure.
AI?
I'm sure. We have made incredible efficiency strides year over year, and I'm sure we'll keep doing that in the future.
So if that's the case, why are you building all this?
If we had an AI that we could offer at 1/10 of the price of current AI, I think people would use it 20 times as much. And we would still need twice as much compute to satisfy the then current demand.
Some companies seem less sure. Microsoft, for example, announced that it was pausing or canceling several data center builds in the US and abroad.
A lot of folks worry that we aren't that far from seeing some kind of pullback, some kind of wall. It's kind of like how all the big tech companies were hiring every single person they could in 2020, 2021. Then at one point, they started firing people. And I think we're at this point where every time a lease gets canceled for a data center, people wonder, oh, did we hit this moment? Do we really need all of this infrastructure? Is there really a payoff in the end? Are folks going to use these tools enough that it's going to pay for all of this build out?
How confident are you that OpenAI is going to be a financially sustainable and profitable enough company to justify all of this investment?
It's looking like we're doing really well. I mean, like we are definitely doing something unprecedented. You know, it seems like I feel confident in the bet. Doesn't mean something can't go wrong.
What are the risks?
I mean, maybe, you know, people stop wanting to like pay for AI services and then we have a difficult financial position.
What do you say to the people out there who think this is a massive boondoggle?
Look, I mean, I think there's always going to be doubters, but I think the money piece, I think so long as AI is delivering value to society, the money will be there to build the infrastructure. I have no concerns around that. Even if it's not all 100% accounted for today, that money is there, and there's a lot of money that wants to invest in this category. What we're undergoing right now is sort of the largest infrastructure build in human history, right? This is like where we built the interstate highway system. You know, that enabled massive interstate commerce and transportation and catalyzed this massive boom in the US economy. What's happening in AI infrastructure is we're building the superhighway system that's going to enable modern intelligence systems. That's going to create all sorts of new job categories that don't even exist today. Mm-hmm. It's going to create new ways of doing business. It's going to create new ways of invention, and it's going to really drive humanity forward.
The data center boom isn't just affecting the AI business. There are local
Bom, pessoal, eu vou parar por aqui, que ela já vai começar a falar em relação às cidades que estão sendo afetadas, tá? Eu vou deixar o link aqui para vocês, caso vocês queiram ver aí o final do vídeo. Bom, as minhas conclusões em relação a isso aqui, isso vai ser esse vai ser um grande passo para atingir ali a superinteligência, a AGI, né, que é o segundo nível da IA, né? E que assim como tem coisas positivas, por exemplo, nós poderemos ter mais poder computacional, ter uma IA mais forte, né? Vocês verem aí que se diariamente a IA está ajudando a descobrir novos medicamentos, estão ajudando médicos aí a prever assim doenças com frequência, tá? Então, eu estou falando mais em relação à parte médica, que é uma coisa importante como ser humano, mas também tem as partes negativas, né? Que é em relação a, a gás com, com eletricidade, gastos assim, com água, né? Então, assim como toda tecnologia tem seus pontos positivos e negativos, temos aí que se colocar na balança, né, e entender entender aonde se queremos chegar em relação a isso, tá? Sim, o fato é que assim a cada dia mais tem mais investimentos em IA, mas um outro fato também que é importante, que é que as pessoas, e principalmente as empresas que não saberem como utilizar a IA de forma adequada, vai ficar para trás, tá? Então, os profissionais aí que estão entendendo o IA, que eles entendam de forma correta, tá? Entendam qual que é a diferença de um modelo para um agente, que um agente é apenas uma característica de um modelo base, que seja aí o GPT, que seja aí assim, outros modelos de fundação, tá? Mas é de extrema importância que nós, como seres humanos, entendemos a tecnologia que estamos utilizando. Não é fácil fazer uma inteligência artificial, fazer ali quando nós falamos de agentes, é apenas uma uma característica de um modelo base. Então, é apenas você dando vida, você dar característica para o seu modelo, tá? Os agentes é apenas a superfície do que existe embaixo, né? Então, vamos supor aqui que para você uma IA está aqui e o agente está aqui. Então, é isso, pessoal, tá? Assim, essa é a minha conclusão, que nós conseguimos aí de fato entender o que é inteligência artificial e eu estarei com vocês nessa caminhada aí durante muito tempo. É isso, espero que tenha gostado e até a próxima.